shoot. One second. Hold on. Hey, you guys. Hey, Rin Fabulous. How are you? Thank you. Hey, AKE. What's up, Black Girl Living? I always say that to myself in my head. Black girl living, black girl living. Happy Friday, guys. How are you? This is such a far difference from when I was still shopping for what I was going to wear to the club on a Friday night, as opposed to doing a live on Buddhism. My, how things have changed. So, anybody who knows me knows that I'm always, Black Girl Living. This could have been a 5-spot night for sure. Summertime, what? Summertime, what? What? Anyway, let me focus. Focus. Look, I will really have to get some stiletto Jordans now because these ankles ain't what they used to be. When we used to percolate. Well, I don't think we was percolator. We was something. Anyway, let me fix my chair. Lower me down a little bit. Okay. Yes. I'm the chick who always had built-in accessories on my shirt. Oh my God. That is so funny. Hi, you guys. I'm just chatting it up a little bit because I have a special guest tonight. And I'm going to call her Miss Kimberly. But you think I'm bad with technology? She's new too. So I'm waiting for her to get on. But we are going to be talking about Buddhism because you know me. Oh, pin it. Look at my moderator helping me from afar. Like I know what that means. Pin it. Can you put it into my fingers and tell me? Okay, let me try it. Wait, what am I pinning? Oh my God. Moderator, cut it out. I can't with you tonight. Look, I'm gonna be like, call me on the phone, and I'm on the phone. So cut it out. Just stop. Anyway. Type up whatever I want and save it. Okay. Okay, give me 1 second, guys. Let's do some typing. Whatever it is I want to say. Can't you just type it and I copy it and paste it from your comment? But it's okay. Tonight's live on I don't even know if I spelled that right. Let's see. Spell check corrected me. Woohoo! Pin up. Got it. Winning. Okay, hold on. Because I think she sent the request and I didn't do it yet. We are going to get it together. Okay, let's see. Hey, girl. Okay, 1 second. Oh my God, you look beautiful.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, wait, come back. What happened? Let's do it again. Okay, we're gonna get it together. This is worth it. This is well worth it. I'm like, come back wherever you went. Let's do it again. Send me that request again. Because either way, I'm going to leave this on my page so that other people could look at it later. So I'm going to say, let's try this. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. There you are.
I'm back.
You back.
Yes, I'm not going to touch anything else. So.
Okay. In honor of you, I have my Buddha incense.
Oh, look at you. That's a
Okay.
wonderful offering.
Who knew?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to tell a little backstory about how this all came about. So anybody who knows me knows that I love helping people. It's part of my purpose. And anytime I come across something that like makes me be like, oh my God, people need to hear this. People should know this. I try to share it. So in talking with Miss, do you prefer to be called Kimberly or Kim?
I'm actually in transition. Let's go with Kimberly.
Okay.
I was Kim all my life, but like in the last year,
Okay.
I've become Kimberly in some spaces. So let's use
Okay.
it.
Yeah. Only keep my name.
Yeah, exactly. Miss Tina, that's it. One of my idols. Yes.
Yes, and we're going to get to that.
Mm-hmm.
So in the context of having a conversation about clearing, about how life has changed, she happened to mention that she's Buddhist, and she mentioned chanting. And I was like, what? Chanting? Tell me more. So then when she tells me her story, which I hope she will tell you, I was like, that sounds very, very interesting. And you know what I realized that really interested me was that, you know how Christians have a stigma where you'll hear people have a reputation of Christians are mean, Christians are this, Christians are hypocritical, Christians are judgmental. Sometimes being a Christian, I don't say that I'm a Christian because I don't want to be classified with the meanies and stuff or trying to push beliefs on people. So I realized, you know what, Buddhism, I don't think I've heard any kind of like stuff like how we be like Jehovah's Witness, oh, lock the door, turn out the lights. You know what I mean? Like Muslims, you'll be like, oh my God, I can't take all this praying. It's getting me dizzy. But Buddhists, you just see the little Buddhas around. How'd y'all keep it so clean?
Well, there's different kinds of Buddhism, but I would say, you know, I practice the one from Japan. So it's called Nichiren Buddhism.
Okay.
And one thing that I've always heard is that there's never been, you know, historically wars, like, you know, fought in the name of Buddhism. So I think that that has a lot of significance in talking about what you're describing.
Okay, that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
So tell us how you got started. Like, how did this come into your life? Because I'm sure it came in some kind of way.
It did. It comes in everyone's life. Everyone has an origin story. So mine was, I was in a community of people and I met a person who was just the most encouraging that I had ever known, the most optimistic, you know, and she had really had some battles in her life and I was coming up on some battles in my own life. I had a marriage at the time that was, you know, kind of falling apart. And I was just like, you know, please tell me, what is your secret? You know, how do you stay so encouraged and so just optimism. And she said, you know, I've been practicing this Nichiren Buddhism for 30 years.
30 years.
Yeah, 30 years at that time. And that was 7 years ago. And so I was floored because I did not think that that was going to be her answer. We were in another community full of like self-help type of things. So I thought she was going to say that, but no, she was like, no, it's my faith, it's the practice. And so that's how I was introduced. And once she told me that, I just wanted to learn more about it. So I got with the organization SGI, it's Soka Gakkai International, and we have one in the United States. So we call it SGI USA.
Okay.
And there I thought, okay, she didn't live near me and we're geographical. So you end up meeting people that live, I met people literally that live right around the corner from me that I would have never known. And I thought, okay, it's only going to be her. You know, she's going to be the one that was like so encouraging, so optimistic.
Right.
But no, they all were like that.
Shut up.
All the people. And she lived in Virginia at the time. I lived here in Maryland. And so then I was very much intrigued. And once I started, you know, our primary practice is to chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. So if you've ever seen What's Love Got to Do with It, you know, that's Tina Turner's story, or if you've read her book, you've been able to hear it because about midway to the movie before she leaves
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
she is introduced to this practice and she begins to chant, and
Mm-hmm.
that creates that internal courage in her to really live out her life's purpose. And
Gotcha.
she goes on to do so many wonderful things. And so yeah, that's how I was first introduced. And once I tried it, the way that I felt after
Mm-hmm.
chanting, I felt lifted.
Oh,
you
like
know
raise your vibration.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And just physically lighter, like things were just coming up off of me, limitations, lacks that I
Mm-hmm.
had put on myself, or things that were
Mm-hmm.
mine that I had taken on. They started to just come away. And I'm not saying Buddhism really believes that everything that we need
Mm-hmm.
is within us.
Oh, I like that.
So it's different than Christianity or some other religions because there's not an external being.
Right.
And remember, I said there's multiple types of Buddhism.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
you might see like the Buddha, the deity, but
Mm-hmm.
in our world, he's not a deity.
Mm-hmm.
He was an historical person.
Okay.
He lived in India, and he did become enlightened and he did spread the word of Buddhism. But
Gotcha.
what is in him is also in me,
Right.
right?
Right.
So as I'm chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, I'm not chanting to, please God.
Anybody external.
No. It's to actualize the best part of myself and, bring about change in my life through my own change. We call that
Mm-hmm.
human revolution. So as I do
Ooh.
my human revolution, then my
Yes.
exterior world has to change, right? Because that's cause and effect.
Right.
I'm making the cause to change myself through chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to get an effect. And
Right.
that effect is a result of being at a higher vibration,
Mm-hmm.
being aligned with the universe,
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been practicing a little over 7 years now,
Wow.
and my whole world is completely different than the one that I came into the practice with.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's what drives me to, share things with people like you. Because I'm like, I want this for everybody.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And it's like when you can see somebody's light shining, I'm always like, okay, because people are always looking for tools.
Absolutely.
And a lot of times people will ask me stuff about like crystals. Oh, do you think I should get this crystal or that crystal?
Yeah.
And it's like, does that resonate with you?
Mm-hmm.
Like, did you feel something from it? Like, even in simple questions, it's like looking for something external.
Mm.
So it's like trying to guide them. I'm always trying to connect them back to self, connect them back to source. I'm probably like a natural Buddhist and didn't even know.
Yeah.
But
very much so.
Anything that will bring somebody peace, because I know that when so much stress arises, the physical breakdown of the physical body, which I was really aware of as becoming a massage therapist.
Mm-hmm.
And becoming a massage therapist, that's when I heard about Reiki and pulling in all that energy to help with the massage. So I have felt energetically with my hands how it feels when somebody is like living under heavy stress and heavy burden, and how heavy shoulders and neck and all this tension can be. So I'm always trying to help people find a tool that can help lighten them.
Mm-hmm.
Because I truly believe we can just light, keep going higher and higher.
Yeah, we can literally just raise our vibration up, 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 up. And I totally agree with you. I mean, we have a concept of the 10 worlds. So that sounds a lot like what you're talking about, the 10 worlds. So they go all the way from the world of hell, at the lowest state, to the world of Buddhahood at the highest state, and phases in between. So some phases like anger, animality, but there's also phases of like a heavenly phase where we feel like, yeah, we're happy so long as everything is going okay for us, like we don't have any challenges, so we're happy. But in the Buddhahood state, our goal is to be happy in the midst of all the challenges, and to find appreciation for those challenges. So, because that's where we grow, that's where I can do my human revolution. But we believe that I can access those 10 worlds at any time. So, so that's a difference, because people who may be listening, who maybe you heard about Buddhism, but maybe you heard things like, well, don't I have to be born a man to enter the world of Buddhahood. That is the case in some Buddhist religions. Or I have to be born into a certain class system, a caste system. That is the case. And that's more, I would say, cultural than it is based on the teachings of the historical Buddha that lived.
Gotcha.
Wrote, the Lotus Sutra was his highest work. So, and then in Japan, there was a monk named Nichiren Buddhism, and he studied the Lotus Sutra, and he is who actualized the practice of Nam-myoho Renge Kyo, chanting Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely. So you don't have to wait. It's instantaneous. You can
just access it. You don't have. It's
just like that. And even like I'm human. We're all human. So do I have moments in my life where I'm in hell and I'm malleable? Yes, absolutely, I do. And the more I use my practice of Nam-myoho Renge Kyo to lift my life condition, then ultimately the happier I am, the better I am for my family, my friends, and anyone that I interact with.
Okay. And back to the female part, because I've heard of Kuan Yin. Is she, I think she was like the first female Buddha, but I don't know what part of Buddhism she was in.
I'm not familiar with that name, so I would have to maybe do a little bit of research.
I heard that there were a person in Reiki. It was like Kuan Yin was supposed to be the first female Buddha, but it might be one of them, one of the other sects or something like that. So I just was wondering.
Because in the Lotus Sutra, Siddhartha Ganthra, who was from India, who was the historical Buddha, there were female disciples that he writes about in the Lotus Sutra. And even there's a story of the Dragon King's daughter where the daughter becomes enlightened, right? In the Lotus Sutra. So I think for people to think that never happened back then, or that the historical Buddha didn't believe that women could obtain the world of Buddhahood, that would be just incorrect when you study the text. And so there's a huge part of our practice, which is study. So I'm always, I try to study every day, at least a little bit. And, I would definitely be interested. And I'm also interested because, Reiki, as you know, originates from Japan. Right. So I've not really had a chance to look at the intersection between Nichiren Buddhism and Reiki.
That's funny because that was the story that you told is very similar to the story they tell in Reiki, where Dr. Usui went on a pilgrimage. He happened to be sitting on like Mount Kilimanjaro. I don't want to say Kilimanjaro because I don't think that's the right
I think
one.
It's I can see it in my mind, but I can't think of the name.
I'm like, I know it's not Kilimanjaro. And received enlightenment, and then brought it back down and shared it with people. But it wasn't like he owned it. It passed through him. So when we're doing Reiki attunements, we're letting the energy pass through us, but we don't try to own it. You don't try to capture it. It's just expressed, but it's not like you're praying to some entity either. It's just tapping into that energy. Universal energy.
And using your own energy mixed with it, right? Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God, this is so amazing. So tell me something that you have chanted that you got because you chanted.
How much time do you have? I mean, it's just like, come on, girl. I mean, okay.
Pick 3 or 4. No.
The
only reason why I say that is because, like I said, people want tools, and it's almost like appetizers. Like there always is something that intrigues somebody, so we never know what's going to be that thing.
Okay, so we call this actual proof.
Okay,
literally, right? Because it really is actual proof. Okay, so just set the scene. I said when I was introduced to Buddhism originally, I was in basically the downward spiral of a relationship. Okay, and so I really wanted it to work. I was really trying, but as I began to gain my practice, it became clear to me that it just wasn't tenable, And the first thing was I had the courage to exit that relationship, you know, because it had been in a downward spiral for a long time. So that was kind of my first inkling that, okay, this tool is really powerful.
Wow. Okay.
And then fast forward, you know, being single, raising my sons and everything, I started to think about again, like, okay, well, you know, I might not mind meeting someone, you know, to date or what have you. So by this time, I'm a regular practitioner, and I said, you know, I want to meet someone. Here's the qualities that I want. I put them on a list. Y'all get the story because y'all see my ring, but I put them on a list, and I put my list at my altar. You know, and we chant in the morning and the evening. So I'm chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, and I'm chanting to find a partner with these qualities. Okay? So then eventually, I start dating. You know, go out on dates, and it's very easy for me to discern, is this someone that I want to have a second date with, even because if they didn't have those qualities, and there was no point. Right. And I was naturally just not attracted to those people. And that is a change in itself, because previously I was attracted to people that didn't necessarily have what I was looking for, right? Because maybe they showed me some attention or whatever it was. So go on along, dating. And then I meet this person. You know, who literally has all the qualities. Whoa.
Okay, Paul, let me pause you for a second.
Yes.
All those people on here trying to get love. I swear.
Hey, that's natural.
Number one thing that people want. When people get readings, they're wanting to know about their love life. And sometimes I have to explain, you might be wanting a 10 and you like a 6. So there has to be some kind of practice. You got to heal. You got to grow to get what you really want. Otherwise, there's an abundance of things that you do not want. And you can clearly see that, but you can never lock eyes with what you want until you raise up.
Yep. And Terry, you're speaking truth, because once I met Leah, who's my wife today, so that, you know, that's a little bit spoiler alert, but once I met her,
Happy Pride.
I realized that, thank you so much, Happy Pride. I realized that I had become those things.
Oh, even better.
It was even better. I was like, dang, because, and the reason how I realized that was because, you know, life had gone on. We had been dating for a while. Everything was just, it's like basically a storybook romance. I mean, everything was perfect. It was not an issue. We got along great. I mean, it just was very, very good. And, you know, we didn't do the U-Haul thing. You know, lesbians sometimes do the U-Haul thing. We did not do that. You know, we were very responsible.
Wait, what's the U-Haul thing?
Oh, okay.
Sidebar. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Sidebar.
It is Pride Month. Well, okay.
Right. Explain.
Sometimes, you know, when women are in relationships, just like a friendship, right? You can get close very easily. So when you take that into a romantic relationship, sometimes the closeness will create a situation where women who haven't been together that long end up living together. It happens in, you know, male and female relationships too. But sometimes we refer to that as like a U-Haul, you know, situation. Because I'm moving in, you know. Okay. We might have been dating 3 months, but I'm in love, and we're gonna make this.
Okay.
And I'm not knocking that, you know, but
of course
we didn't do that, you know. We were very intentional. And about 18 months in, I started kind of feeling like, oh, I don't know, you know, I don't know. And, you know, I was having some little complaints and some doubts. I think I was scared, you know, of what was to come. But I went back to my list. Okay. And I was like, let me check this list again, because maybe something about this is off, you know. Right. Maybe she's not what I thought she was. And as I checked the list, that's when I realized, well, I've done this. I'm more of this. Okay. Like, that's when I was like, okay, so I have become this list. Girl, why did I add like 3 more things onto the list? Okay. That I thought, okay, these are the things. These are the things that she is not. So let me add them onto this list. Let me chat about this. Look up another year later, baby done did all them things too. Wow. I'm not kidding you, Terry.
Wow. So this is the golden key. Everybody's always looking for the golden key.
It is.
And even in this, you got to do the work, though.
You have to do the work. And like my close friends, I'm in an LGBT sorority. Shout out to Beta Phi Omega Sorority Incorporated. And many of my sorors are listening. We're celebrating our 21st anniversary next week. So, yeah.
Awesome. Congrats.
But thank you. And a lot of my sorors who are, you know, we're in close relationships. They all know my wife. They love her. They're just like, how did you find her? You know, how did you do that? And I'm just like, Buddhism. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. That's it.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. I have to get down and dirty with it. So we saw the movie, we saw it work for Tina, and even today, in this day, when Tina was like, "Bye USA, I'm out of here."
Yeah,
you don't. I mean, not that I'm sure her life isn't perfect, but it just seems on track.
yes. So, and actually, a couple things about Tina. I love Tina. She is truly one of my heroes, and she actually looks like an aunt who I had that I had that passed away. So she is very special to me. But she just revitalized her life. She completely turned.
That's a good word for it.
It's a revitalization. And when you watch the movie, you don't get that in depth on the story. You know, movies distill things down to a few minutes or seconds or what have you.
Yeah.
But you know, she had a book. The movie is based on a book. So people who are really interested, you could read her first book, What's Love Got to Do with It?
Right.
And then she also now has a documentary out that's on HBO Max. And it's like a 4 or 5 part documentary. It goes into detail about like how, I don't know if you remember, but there was a concert that she gave, I think in like Rio de Janeiro or somewhere where it was like over 100,000 people. Huge concert. And she's like out on this ledge, like singing to everybody. That was a prayer that she had. And she talks about it in that documentary because she wanted to have like a sellout, one of the largest venues ever. And she was able to accomplish that goal. And that's pretty much when she stopped performing, because she was just like,
she reached it.
I reached it. That's what I wanted to do. And now she has love. You know, she's been married for decades now to her current husband. And she actually has a new book. So that's the other thing I want to tell people. You can get her new book, Happiness Becomes You, by Tina Turner. So
pin that.
I haven't gotten all the way through it yet, but it's called A Guide to Changing Your Life for Good. So it gives you an idea of what she did.
That is so awesome.
Yeah, it is. And so she's a major, like, she's an inspiration for me because, you know, I've been in abusive relationships as well, whether that was physical abuse, I've had that, you know, emotional abuse, even spiritual abuse, you know, so, you know, not being accepting of my beliefs, you know, I've had that. And to just, none of that stuff is in my life. None of that stuff is here anymore. And it's a testament to this practice. It really is.
Okay. I want to say, if anybody has any questions, go into that little bubble that you see with the question mark on it and send it to me, and then I can ask if anybody's having any questions. But this is going to probably sound silly, but does it mean anything with the speed? Like, you know, how, like, you learn how to say it, and then it's like you'll get faster and faster? Yeah,
so actually, the goal of it, when you first start out, you're not fast because you're learning. Right. It's really the first thing that we study. But the goal of it is to chant like a galloping horse, because that sets the pace for your life. Yeah, so I'll show you, like, you could say like, Nam yo ho denge go, nam yo ho denge go, nam yo ho denge go. I mean, it's not bad, right? But now listen to this. Nam yo ho denge go, nam yo ho denge go, nam yo ho denge go, nam yo ho denge go. It's like that strength. You know, it's like a prayer warrior who can pray your hand off the ground. It's like you're lifting and it lift off. That's it. And it feels that way. And like, you know, do it, you know, however long you need to do it. But you can literally feel the connection with the universe, you know, and it's an active practice. So like people who are accustomed to meditation, they're accustomed to closing their eyes and taking themselves to another place. That is not this. We actually have a scroll that we enshrine in our homes, and we get it from the organization. And so we have our eyes open. We're chanting to that. We're chanting with that scroll and trying to just actualize the best of ourselves. Gotcha. That sounds amazing, because some people need active meditation. Like, that's why some people need guided meditation, because they can't. That sounds like it would teach a lot of discipline. It does. And then also, man, courage. Yeah. I heard you say that word more than once. And there are people who need courage out here. Like, if I could sell courage, I would sell courage. Yeah. So you are absolutely right. Yes. Yes. So when people start, oftentimes they say, well, what do I chant for? And we say, you could chant for anything. Right. Anything that you want in your life, I don't care what it is, chant for it. And also you can chant for courage, wisdom, and happiness.
Okay.
You know, so we're chanting for those three things, and that's what we tell people when they start. So for me, it was that courage that built up in me to say, I'm done with this relationship. I'm done living like this. No, I want something better, and I'm not afraid to go and get, you know, either in this, I didn't know if I was ever going to get it at that time, but I'm like, I'm into this. I'm not going to be doing this anymore. That was the courage from this practice.
And do you know what? There's this little jinxie thing. I don't know where it came from, but another Christian woman that I know, one time we were praying and I had said something about praying for the wisdom for something. And she's like, oh no, honey, you don't pray for wisdom, because if you pray for wisdom, you're going to get tested. And then I thought, well, I don't want to get tested, but I want to be smart. So it was like another one of those things that will put like a clamp on you, because it goes into the back of your mind. And if you keep it as limiting belief, then you're like,
yeah.
How do I pray for wisdom without getting tested?
Yeah. And I mean, and I'm not here to speak on anyone else's religion. You know, if it brings you courage, wisdom, and happiness, I think that that is great. All I can speak to is the practice that has worked for me. And what I hear and what you're saying is there's a level of fear. You know, there's a level of fear, because fear is why I don't want to be tested, you know, because I'm not sure if I'll be victorious, right? And so in our practice, we say, come on, bring it on, bring on those challenges, because we want to build. At the beginning, I didn't have it, but over time, through victories, I built that really strong faith that says, yes, I will get over this. I can't necessarily tell you the date and time it's going to happen, but I know that through my own human revolution, I will create victory and value out of this challenge situation. So, you know, I remember when I first joined, and like I was deciding to leave my marriage and stuff, and the members were rallying around me, and they were like, congratulations. I was like, who says congratulations to this? And they were like, but they knew, you know, they were like, you're going to change your karma. You're gonna do so much work on yourself, and you know, you're going to
speak on karma.
Yeah. Oh, well,
please.
Okay. So
great segue.
At the heart of karma, sometimes people think of karma as something bad, right? But it's really not. At the heart of karma is responsibility. So when I say that, I mean that everything in my environment, everything that's happened to me or is happening to me, is my responsibility. So sometimes that doesn't feel good, you know. And so you asked me for 3 ways I've changed my life. So I'm going to give you number 2.
Okay.
As it relates to karma. So I spent more than 15 years in successive jobs with the same organization, being underpaid.
Okay.
And when I say being underpaid, I'm talking about in comparison to my male counterparts at my level, in comparison to my white female counterparts at my level. And simultaneously, I spent that 15 plus years being a top performer.
Wow.
Right. So I'm like a top performer, constantly getting promoted, constantly getting, you know, awards talked about, and yet my pay is like somewhere down here.
Oh,
you know?
No.
But for the majority of that time, I thought that was true, but I never did any research to really confirm it. It was basically like I had blinders on my eyes. I did not want to look. You know, and because it was publicly available, I could have known. But so that's what I mean by I spent that time. Is it the organization's fault, or is it my fault? Ultimately, they had a role to play, right? But I continued to accept it. So that was my responsibility. And in that, there is karma there. You know, when I look, so there's karma that can be generational. Right. So sometimes in our families, we see patterns in our parents' lives, our grandparents' lives.
The patterns.
And they show up in our life. Well, those patterns are part of our karma. Right. So, but in that ability to accept responsibility, then I have the power, because I can change it.
Okay, perfect.
So, right. So with respect to my pay, at some point, after starting this practice, I
Uh-huh.
finally got the courage to be like, okay, let me
Let me
let
look
me look
at
at
it.
this.
Let me look at these bills.
Let me look, not just the bills. I knew I didn't make enough money,
Right.
but I needed to look to see what everybody else was making, who was
Okay.
doing less work than me.
Gotcha.
You know, I knew I didn't make enough money, and I was
Yeah.
lying to myself saying that I was making enough money, but little did
Okay.
you know, I was not.
Gotcha.
But so I finally looked, and when I saw, girl, I was like, oh my gosh. And so then I had a chant like, okay, what am I going to do about it? You know, how am I going to fix this? And
Mm-hmm.
it took a long time. Like I had to chant and chant and chant and chant
Mm-hmm.
and chant for the ability to really transform this in my life. And when I'm chanting,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not just chanting for myself, right? I'm
Right.
chanting
Of
so
course.
that I can show actual proof to people like you so that you'll
Yeah.
believe that you can change
Yes.
things in your life. I'm chanting
Definitely.
for, we believe that you can change your karma 7 generations forward and
Ooh.
7 generations back.
What?
Yeah,
That's
that
worth
there's,
it by itself.
it's worth it, right? So I'm like, okay, if it's not for me, I'm going to do it for someone else in my
Yes.
family, and I'm going to win. It took a number of years. That's what I mean by
Mm-hmm.
you don't flip a switch, right? And make
Right.
all
Right.
these
Right.
things true. But I put myself into positions where I opened myself up for more responsibility at
Mm-hmm.
work, whereas before I
Mm-hmm.
might have been like shy, waiting on it to come to me.
Yes. Lacking courage to
Lacking
lead.
courage, lacking courage. And then once I outperformed anybody who had been in those roles,
Wow.
I built up the courage to say, yeah, when you're going to promote me and you're going to finally hire me in the job you should have hired me years ago, no, I'm not going to take your minimum offer.
Of course.
And I'm not even going to ask for like a little bit more. No, I asked for the max.
Okay.
And I did that twice.
Ooh, you maxed out on
I
them.
maxed out twice. And so I effectively raised my salary over 90%. Yes. I'm telling you, Terry, over 90% in those years that I worked on it. And it was hard. It was so
Right.
hard. It was not in me to fight for
Mm-hmm.
myself like that. I had to
Mm-hmm.
write scripts like how I'm going to negotiate. I had to do research because there's
Take
action.
notes.
Yes, I literally had like,
Yes.
girl, I had a whole sheet of like multiple pages of paper written out when I first went to my boss for the first request on the max. And he basically was like, I'm gonna put it in. Before
Mm-hmm.
he was like, I can stop you now. I'm gonna put it in. There's a
Mm-hmm.
whole story behind like that day, how everything went out. But he was like, I'm gonna give it to you. And I was
Mm-hmm.
just like, okay, thank you. But I need to do this for me. So we about to go
Mm-hmm.
through this. I wrote this and we about to go through it. And so we did, and so he could really see like, cause he was gonna have to fight. And I'm like, I need you to know what you're fighting for
Yes. Okay.
and
Okay.
why this is important.
You so thorough.
Girl. And
Thorough. You
that
like,
is
I got receipts, honey.
I got it right here. And that's the thing about Buddhism. Like, I can't just chant and then say, I hope it comes true.
Right.
Or
Right.
chant and say, this Buddhism doesn't work because I didn't get what I was chanting for.
Right.
We have to take action. So when we're in that mindset, we're chanting with our eyes open to what we call our gohonzon. That's the scroll that we enshrine in our homes.
Mm-hmm.
When we're chanting to that, we're like thinking about, okay, I want to increase my salary so I can spread this practice and show actual proof of this practice.
Yes.
And as I'm chanting, I'm thinking about things that I can do. I need to learn about negotiation. Okay.
Yeah.
I need to prepare for negotiation. I need to write a script. I need to practice this, and this. So, it worked. And, I did that. I did that thing. And without this practice, I never would have been able to do it.
And it sounds like what's happening is when it's almost like when people are listening to their intuition and then they get inspired to take action to do something and a step forward. It's almost as if they may not know what to do, but when it hits them, then they can take the next step. So it's always like the next step and the next step.
And you keep saying like you're a Buddhist without knowing it, but you're bringing out so much truth of the practice because that's exactly how it happens. I didn't sit down and say, I'm going to raise my salary 90%. No, that was not my goal. My goal was I'm going to raise my salary and get the most I can out of this promotion so that I can show the proof of this practice. Right. Now, I didn't know at the time I was going to do that again.
Right.
And even when I got to the next level, and they offered me something, I thought about taking it.
Oh,
and
did
not
you?
asking for more. I did. And that's when I was like, ooh, okay, I still have some karma there. I still have some karma that I need to transform, because after all my success, why would I do that? You know, why
Ooh,
would I take it and not negotiate for more for myself?
right.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, right at this point, do you feel like that was still like a little remnants of being attracted to abusive
Absolutely.
situations? Because
Absolutely.
sometimes people don't realize that it can happen in work. It doesn't have to
Yes.
just be in a relationship.
Yes.
It could be in other areas where you're abusing yourself and you
Yes.
may not even know it.
Yes. And Terry, I think at the root of it is accepting less than we are worth. You know, I mean, the reason why I accepted abuse is because I was accepting less than I was worth. And I probably, you know, really at the heart of it, I probably viewed myself as less worthy than I was, you know.
Girl, you have just said it. You have just said it, because I'm telling you, when I'm trying to talk to somebody, sometimes people don't know their value or worth, or people will get upset if you say, I've found that I have to delicately say, if somebody has low self-esteem, they were like, I get my hair done, I get my nails done, I love myself. But trying to explain how it's deeper than just this surface stuff, it's what's in the inside that comes from, I swear, when you shot the sperm shot out and jumped into the egg, I always swear it's a snapshot of whatever was happening with your parents at that time, whatever happened when you came through that birth canal, all that energy you absorb coming up, and it can show in people's lives.
Yes.
And so it's very hard to communicate to somebody how we can tell them, you don't even know. Okay, there's things you don't know. Like if you don't know Spanish. Then there's things you may not even know you don't know.
Absolutely.
You don't have a concept of what you don't know that you don't know. So just being open to hear and to listen to what you don't even know. Like, I'm taking this abuse because I don't even know yet. So for you to discover this through your chanting, your ritual, and then to see that hesitancy come back up at a salary, because salary, that's how the world goes around.
It
Currency,
is. Right.
Money,
right.
Your place in the world, your freedom, your financial freedom.
Yes, and as I make more, of closer to what I'm worth, then I can offer more to the organization, so that can help more people. So it's not only about me, it's about my mission, here on earth. The reason why I had spent 15 plus years underpaid and undervalued was because I had a mission. I just didn't know it. Like you're saying, I didn't know at the time. And I think that what you hit on about people maybe not being able to see, that maybe there is an issue, something that they need to work on. I think that also is much harder when they really don't know how to work on it.
Right. Or have a tool.
You don't have a tool. You really don't know what to do. So it's like, that's how I was for 15 years. That's why I didn't want to look at it, because I'm like, well, I felt like I couldn't do anything about it, Terry. I really did. I felt like it'll never change. Defeated. It'll never change. This is just how it is. I work in a white male dominated.
Oh my God. I'm gonna need y'all to throw up some hearts for that.
I mean, I'm never gonna get up here. It's just like, I would look at some of my counterparts who have been around for years and just like decided long ago they were done trying, and I'm just like, at one point, Terry, I thought that that's what I would be. I really thought that that's all that was open to me. And it was the furthest thing from the truth, because none of the other people around me changed. Like the people, I'm saying, like, they didn't get changed out and then I just got this great boss and he was going, no, it was the same person, but I changed.
Yeah, it's like you stepped into your power.
Yes.
And it's like that, okay, so that brings me to another point of Buddhism. Do you guys refer to gods or goddesses, or not at all? Is that the language? Am I thinking that of Hindu? Maybe they're with the gods and the goddesses?
Hinduism does have, I think, a lot of different deities. But there are, like, in Chinese Buddhists, like, they have, like, if you see, like, the fat Buddha or the baby Buddha, like, I believe that they view that person, like that entity, as like a deity.
Okay,
But
gotcha.
Nichiren Buddhism, for which I practice, which Tina Turner practices, we are the deity.
Okay.
We
Okay.
are.
So you're coming into your power.
Yes.
You're coming into your fullness. You're coming into your full self. That self that is connected, oneness, all of it together, and choosing and choices and responsibility, all of that.
Yeah, it's a lot of responsibility. It is,
Girl.
but it's a lot of power in that responsibility.
Yes.
Yes.
I am like a little Tina Turner out here with the wig on and everything because I'm like,
yes.
I'm like, drinking the Kool. Can we say drinking the Kool-Aid?
Well, all you need to do is chant "Nam Myoho Renge Kyo"
from the movie. Okay, from the movie, and I mean not from the movie, but you know what I'm saying.
Yes, well,
we saw that scene, and we was like, "What's she doing?"
And she was like on her knees, and she was like looking up.
It was at her lowest point.
Yes,
like she exhausted all other things,
everything. If you remember, she was chanting. Then they had a trip to Texas. I think it was in Dallas. When she was just like, I'm not going to take this anymore. And she left, went to that other hotel, and she was like, I'm Tina Turner.
That was my favorite part.
I don't have any money, you know, but if you give me a room, I will get you paid. And I just need a safe place to be. And she got that room. And then from there, I mean, you saw the court scene where she was like, I just want my name.
Yes.
That's it. I just want
out
of
all
here
you need,
with my
she has
name.
Everything.
She had all the confidence that she needed. Yeah.
Okay. So listen, guys, if for nothing else, I don't see any questions.
Okay.
But I don't know if my screen is frozen because you know I'm not Instagram professional.
Well, I'm
technically I have a moderator normally when my moderator be doing all that, and I'm like, I don't know what to tell you.
Okay.
So I don't see any questions coming through.
Okay.
But guys, girls, the courage. I know there is something that you are needing courage for. I know it. I absolutely know it. If this is a tool to build your courage, your confidence. Okay, so let me ask you, any stigmas that we need to look out for, or is there any
Well, I think sure, especially in the Black community, you know, I think I run into most people who assume other Black people are Christian. You know, so, and nothing wrong with that, but that's an opportunity to educate them. Like, oh no, I'm Buddhist, you know. I mean, like I said, I don't have anything against any person's religion that's working for them. What I would say in terms of stigma is, you know, I had to look at my life. Right. And
true that. True.
You know,
it will tell you everything. Your life will tell you.
Yeah. And so it's like I needed courage in my life. Right. I needed change in my life, and I needed the ability to carry those things out. So for me, I was willing to try it because someone else who I respected and admired said it worked for them, you know, and that's how they navigated their life and had some victories in their life. And then it was very natural because everyone I met in the organization was just like the woman who introduced me to it. So I'm like, okay, so this must be like a real thing, and it's something that I could have, you know. So that's what I would say about stigma is, you know, if you're looking at your life and you're like, you know what, my faith, whatever that is, it offers me everything that I need. You know, I feel like I'm tapped into a power that I can utilize to change my world or whatever I need to do. That's great. I'm happy for you, you know. But if you're looking at your life and you're like, okay, I've been trying to do X, you know, but it isn't working, or, you know, I feel afraid, you know, if you're like that person who's like, simple. Yeah, like I'm scared of that the trials may come. It's like, no, we can either have faith or we can have fear.
One or the other.
Right? And I don't want fear. I want faith. So it's like I had to get in there and do the work. And faith comes from victory.
Right.
I didn't have faith in the beginning. I just had, I just watched it work and worked it in my life. I don't want to say I watched it because I was an active participant.
True.
But as I get one victory after another, of course, I build solid faith.
Definitely.
You know, and then I can share that.
Definitely. And you can stand on it. You have to stand on every word, every vowel, every syllable that came out. You can stand on that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true.
Actually did the practice.
Yeah. And, you know, so you asked me for 3 ways, right? 3 ways. So I'm going to give you the third. So we gave love, right? Finances. Money. I want everybody to get their money. And
get your money, honey.
Yes. Get your money, honey. I like that. So I'm gonna say the third one, and I have more, but I'm gonna distill it down.
Of course.
The third one would be relationship with my children.
Oh, now hold up.
I know, girl.
Whoo,
I know.
Jesus. Who needs this now?
Relationship with my
like
children.
I said, I don't know how to work this thing, so I'm not going to touch nothing. But I know if I could run around the church right now, I would, because some people's relationships with their children is crazy.
Yeah, and I have two sons. Love them both so dearly. I was a teenage mother. You know, I had my first son at 17. And then 5 years later, I had my second son. And my first son and I, like, it's always been a not easy relationship. Even since he was very young, you know, when it was just he and I, it's never been like a flow in our relationship. And so he lived with his dad like in his teenage years, you know.
Of course.
You know, and then you know, a lot of things had happened and we were not close. And
Gotcha.
Right around the time I started practicing, not long after I started practicing, my mother passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you. And so at her funeral, basically we left there on not the best terms.
Gotcha.
Right. And I was practicing, but I didn't really have strong faith yet, you know. And so I was really chanting about like my relationship with him. How am I going to build a more positive relationship? He was very close to my mother. So I was like, how am I going to now my mother's gone, you know, because I was a teenage mom. In some ways, you know, she was also a mom to him too. Yeah. And so it really was hard on him. And I was like, okay, he really needs me. You know, how am I going to forge this relationship? And I'm going to tell you, girl, we call it daimoku. When we chanting, we say we're just going to put those D's on it. We're going to put daimoku on it.
D's on
put some D's on it.
I'm
like,
put
some
D's
on this. We got to win. We got to win. And, you know, fast forward now, 7 years later, he's like one of my best friends. Yes.
Stop
yes.
it.
We talk about everything. I tell people like, you know, he's a very independent person. So I really know him better now. I can see him as a human, and I have so much compassion for him. And it's like, he was not the easiest child because he was very independent. You know, he always just want to do his own thing. So he's a great adult child. And we kick it, we get along, we go on vacation together. Like, I just love him, and he helps me with my business. You know, we invest in real estate, you know, together. Oh, wow. So, I can't not say enough about how I was able to transform that relationship, and I'm so grateful for it.
Miss Kimberly, you have blown my mind. Like, this was more than I could have thought it was going to be. Like, I literally have drank the Kool-Aid.
Oh, so are you going to start chanting?
Girl, I got a temple down the street, right? But the funny thing, I noticed it, but it seemed like since I knew this was happening, I swear it seemed like the bushes parted and you could see the whole thing now. Yeah. Whereas before you could see like a little bit of it. I don't know if they just happened to cut the trees down, but it's like now it's like you could see the whole thing. And I'm like, wow, this is pretty big. I was like, I wonder what kind that is. Yeah. But if I had my altar today, I would be there.
That's great.
Only because I believe in tools. I believe in divine guidance. I believe in being led to the right place at the right time when you hear the right thing. And the fact that I am hearing this and other people are hearing this, there is typically something to it. And I have learned when I listen and I follow along, life gets better. Yeah. So I don't question it anymore. Like when it resonates a certain way, there's no reason to question it.
Okay. So then I am happy for you. I'm so excited. What I want to do is personally get you connected to the organization that I'm a part of so you can meet, you know, people that are going to treat you the way I would treat you. And, you know, we'll do that. We can do that behind the scenes. But anyone
and you guys are all over, right?
We're all over the world. So we're in 192 countries. Okay. You know, we're all over the world. We're all over the USA. Like I said, you will meet people that live in your area that you just would have never known otherwise, you know. They may be Asian. There's a lot of African-American members in the US. I mean, the membership typically just reflects the area, wherever you live. That's what the membership will reflect. It's very diverse. One of the most diverse types of meetings and things I can go to. But yeah, so for any of your friends out there watching, or my friends, so you can go to www.sgi.
Wait, let me pin that.
Okay.
And then, www.
.sgi.
SGI.
And then it's a dash USA.
Okay.
.org.
.org.
And through that website, people can get connected to their local chapters and find out. Right now, we're still doing meetings online, so it's very easy for you to get information and meet people.
Oh, right, because of COVID.
Because of COVID, yeah. We're very human-centered. So in my life, at least when COVID first started to hit, back in February of 2020, the world wasn't shut down yet. I was still going to work. Everything was still happening. But the SGI, we had already shut down. We had gone virtual.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because it's like, if it's going to at all risk human life, that comes first. That absolutely comes first. So, yeah, so we're still virtual for that reason. And then, as local areas decide that, things may open up.
So I can go right after we hang up. I'm going right now.
Yes, go right now. SGI USA. And actually, if you go on there, there's like basics of Buddhism. So you can learn, there's a little intro. You can learn about Nam-myoho Renge-kyo. You can learn about Nichiren Daishonin and learn about the Gohanzen. And yeah, just send them a note. But like I said, I want to work with you through your process. It's really an honor when you can help someone start their process. So, and it reinvigorates our faith as well. So
yeah, the website looks great. I just pulled it up. Yeah,
and anybody, if you're like, oh, I want to talk to Kimberly more. I'm not ready to go to the website. Hit me up. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, DM her.
Yeah,
if you on here, it's going to show up on the DM.
Okay. Yeah. Feel free to hit me up.
You could also put the comment in and put your info on a comment.
Okay. Like my email? What do I put on there?
Yeah, whatever you want. Put it in the comments. That way they could access it.
Okay.
I'll keep the sgi.usa.org pinned.
Yeah, and that's a great place. But like I said, if anybody wants to reach out to me directly, feel free.
Girl, this has been fabulous. I'm so excited.
Thank you, for having me on. I am so, our journey together has been over years.
Yes, it has, honey.
And so I'm just glad to be able to see you when you're in town.
Yes.
I just look forward to working with you more. Thank you so much for having me on.
Oh my God. I am in love right now. Like, I'm in love because you were just so awesome. And you know what else? People's energy shows. Like, when I can see somebody as a clear channel, what else is there to say? You're a clear channel. People be having all kind of, heaviness and burdens and this and that and hidden agendas and stuff. Sometimes people think they're putting something over, but I already know. But I'm not judgmental, so I'm not going to make you feel like, I'm just going to be like, it's what it is. But seeing someone with a clear channel, it's just amazing. It's refreshing. It's refreshing. That's what it is.
Well, it's just my practice showing up. And so I'm grateful, that it shows and that I found it and that I did it, because I could have just been like, maybe one day.
Yeah.
And I just think about my life, what it would be if I hadn't just said, okay, let me try this, So that's why I really wanted to get on here to talk to your community. Because if someone feels, led to it, by all means, we're not here to
it's a
knock
tool
on your door and that kind of thing. It's just like, if it feels good to you and you're interested in it, then by all means, check it out.
Exactly. Nobody's pointing no guns. Nobody's
no.
This is free will.
No, we're not violent. We're not violent over here, Terry.
Clearly, y'all are not violent. Y'all ain't had no holy wars.
Yeah,
people still fighting holy wars today.
Unfortunately,
I know we don't know what the fight really is about, because how could we and not have solved it?
Yeah, and that's a really good point. I didn't get into too much about that, but our national president Daisaku Ikeda, we often refer to him as a mentor, to us. He's written hundreds of books. He's one of the most prolific writers ever. He's written so much about the founding of our organization, the history, as well as the history of Buddhism. But he's also every single year released a peace proposal for world
Mm-hmm.
peace. You know, so we are dedicated to world peace.
Wow.
And it can be distilled down for people to say world peace through individual happiness.
Oh,
Because,
wow.
you know, if we're happy in our lives and we're really
Mm-hmm.
respecting each other as humans and offering that compassion,
Mm-hmm.
you know, if that is what permeates society, then
Right.
we would never make the decision to go to war
Right.
for any
Oh,
reason.
man.
That would
You're
never
right. You're
happen,
absolutely right.
you know. So that's, you know, that's a goal of ours, is to literally create world peace. So we are out here like getting
Awesome.
ourselves right, getting our
Yes.
families right, you know, so that the world can be a better place.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Totally. I totally get it. I totally get it. Okay, Miss Kimberly, thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you. Thank
I'm
you.
gonna have this share. I'm gonna share this on Instagram, but
Okay.
I'm also gonna share it on my YouTube. So I'll send you the link in case you want to share it anywhere because you are
Perfect.
fantastic.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm happy to come on,
So,
and I look forward to talking with you in the future.
okay, bye guys. We're gonna log off now. So
Bye,
have a great rest of your
everyone.
weekend.
Thank
Okay, bye
you.
bye.
Bye.